cracking me up.
Oh my god. Well, we are recording. So mic check one more time. Mic check.
Check,
Mic
check.
check.
Mic check.
All right, cool, man. So it looks like we're looking good on our end. Ready?
Yes, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. This is DJ Exhale. Got my man.
The takeover, the TAY from the CHI, man. As I always say, you know what I'm saying? I don't get jealous of a lot of things, man. But you got the best tagline in the game.
I appreciate that, man. You know,
I need some effects, man, for my own name.
300 International worked really hard on that. Gotta give him the credit.
He comes out with all the ideas. I don't know where DJ 300 is. I don't know if he got caught up for like PEDs or something, or maybe he's paying child support. Who knows? He might be in court. It could be anything. But shout out to him because he's here with us in spirit. We are live on the set.
On the set, live every morning on Monday and Thursday, 8 a.m. We have a special guest tonight.
Yes, we do. Now, before I say her name, I'm just go ahead and preface this with I'm probably going to fuck it up and she's going to fuck me up for fucking it up. All right?
There's a convo before the convo.
If only y'all can see her face. I want y'all to give a big round of applause for Nunudelaunay.
What's up?
Yeah, I did it right.
Hey, that sounded right?
It was a pause, so I was nervous for a second because I thought she was about to get me.
I think it's all the alcohol from the last interview that finally left the system.
Yeah. I had to
some
concentrate.
food.
I had to say it with my eyes closed just to make sure I did it right. How you doing?
I'm good.
You
How
good?
you doing? You good?
Yeah. Welcome to On the Set.
We appreciate you coming through, showing some love.
No problem.
Taking the time out of your
taking
day.
time out of your busy schedule. You know what I'm saying? So now, having just met you, do you threaten to beat up everybody that you run into?
No, I'm very humble.
Okay.
But I respect all until you give me a reason to say fuck you.
Hey.
Right off top. I like that. So where you from originally?
Miami, Dade County, Liberty City.
Okay. That makes sense, actually.
305.
It makes sense now.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
All day.
Yeah, I mean, look, everybody that I met from Dade County, they have a certain demeanor about them. I think that's the right word, right?
Is this going to be a thing right now? Or are we back and forth?
I don't know. It kind of depends. We'll see where this goes. But I do respect it, you know what I mean? Just because I think being a female MC, although we haven't established that yet, but she's a female MC, a FemC. And I think it's very important.
Let me correct you on that.
Sorry,
I'm
go
an
ahead.
artist.
Go ahead.
I don't like when people be like, you a female rapper or you a female MC, and then when it's time for the males, it's like,
speak on it.
You a rapper.
No,
so
speak
I'm
on
an artist.
Speak on it.
I'm
She's
an
an artist. And I respect that as well because it minimizes the art when people just kind of, subcategorize you as that. So I do apologize for that because I have a personal issue with that as well. So I appreciate you correcting me on that. That's the only one though that I'm gonna give you.
You one and no. One and no.
But when you're an artist in this industry anyway, no matter what your gender is, you have to have a certain demeanor about you in order to push through and break through, because there's a lot to push through and break through. Some of us have more hurdles than others, so I can appreciate someone again who off air she came right in and let me know what's up right off top, and I respect that and appreciate that. So where do you get that from? Is it where you were raised or how you were raised or anything like that?
No, it's just my experience.
You're tired of people's
like
shit.
you said before.
You're tired of people's shit.
No, it's not that. It's
okay.
just being a female overall. It's hard to get people to respect you and to take you serious.
Yeah.
So it's like when you walk in a room, you have to demand it. You have to lay down the laws so people can be like, okay, she about her business.
Yeah.
I can see that happening because we've had other artists who are also females who've mentioned similar, one, just that the idea of having to express that in the first place when you should be respected as an artist only.
Exactly.
And foremost first.
Yeah, the artist first and foremost at that point anyway. And, being a female is just a part. It's a layer that you get to add. A different perspective than say myself or any other male artist or whatever. How do you combat that? You know what I mean? Because you do have to walk into a male dominated industry, right? You walk into a room. If there's 10 people in it, 9 of them are dudes. How do you combat that?
The same way I did today. Demand my respect. You're going to respect me. And that's just how I move. I'm business. Lay down the laws. That's it.
Just straight
Respect
to it.
or
Give
we
them
can
an
take it
example of how you laid down the law with, let's say, a radio podcast host who who kept fucking up your name.
just make you respect it. You see, when you came on, you said Nunudelaunay.
Yeah.
That's how I go.
Yeah.
Respect it.
Real facts.
It ain't really no way to do it, but you gonna respect it.
She said, I'm going to make sure that I put respect on her name. And I did. I ain't want no smoke. I'm actually smoke free. Okay? I don't smoke cigarettes or weed. So I didn't want no smoke. Okay, cool. That was a lame joke. So
Yeah, well, we can cut that out.
He 2
make
and
sure you
1
edit
now.
that out.
He 2 and 1
2 and
now.
1. Damn, she only gave you one. You had one only, just
one only. I'm gonna try to work. Work on that. Get
So
that, get
let's
that
talk a
score
little
up.
bit more about you. One, we know you're from Miami. We personally usually only interview local artists in the Dade Broward County area. Now, what was like your early beginnings? Most like, I think a lot of people are gonna hear you now on our podcast. Don't really know who you are. They want to get to know you maybe and hear you out and see what your music's about. And I think we want you to express that. So what's something early on that pushed you to be an artist or got you to where you want to be to take it seriously? Because I know you mentioned that before the podcast started that you actually was more recently you started taking it seriously as an artist.
Yeah, I would just say the struggle, seeing my mom struggle, it really like motivated me to want to get out there and just provide. As far as the music, I was always like a real shy person. And still now, I'm still shy. Like, I don't really talk unless it's about the money. Then you can see me like,
Or you
real,
gotta check
rah, rah,
somebody.
rah, rah.
Or you
Yeah,
gotta
because
check somebody.
off rip, you came off more as like a calm,
Yeah, I don't really
collected,
talk a lot.
and the minute we
Fucked
said
up her name.
something,
Yep.
Tay,
Yeah, that was me.
you're ready to pop off and talk and be yourself, and maybe that's who you are. So that's interesting to hear.
So yeah, I was really shy. I'm still kind of shy, but I kind of broke out of that because I am an artist, and as an artist, you have to network, collab. You can't really be, excuse me, you can't really be shy.
Do you think it shows in your? Do you ever do you perform right now?
Yeah.
And do you think it shows in your performance?
No, right now I really like perform.
Okay,
I give
cool.
it my all. Back then, I probably wouldn't did it.
Okay, is
So-
it something you had to come out of? Why
Yeah.
did it happen? Did you post or pre? Because it wasn't more like, hey, I practiced to like feel comfortable, or was it just happening during experience when you jumped on the stage?
It was more of me just finding myself and really just saying I have to be true to myself. I can't focus on what other people think about me or what they're going to say.
Okay,
So you either want it or you don't.
100% agree with that.
Is it a thing where do you feel most comfortable on stage? Like, do you feel like what is it about being on stage that makes you? Because if you're shy normally, but on stage you turn into a performer, what is it?
No,
about
I'm
being
not
on
shy
stage?
anymore.
Okay.
I
Okay.
used to be like really, really bad. Not just even performing, just shy. I just always was like, and that's due to like the betrayal too. You know, people betraying you, telling you things, this and that. So all that kind of come into why I'm kind of just more standoffish and not an extrovert.
Okay.
More of like an introvert a little bit until I get to know you.
That negativity that you're mentioning, is that due to the fact that you're a female artist, or you're an artist who happens to be a female,
No, it's just,
or is it just that people around you weren't the right people that you should have kept around?
yeah, it's that.
Yeah,
And when
okay.
people see that you are chosen, they try to break you.
Okay.
Because I believe
Yeah.
that sometimes when people can see that who you are before you can see it.
Oh, I agree.
So they'll try to break you before you even notice who
Yep.
you are.
I
Yeah.
feel that way about 300 and Tay. That's probably why we get along so well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I've noticed things that they can and can't do, or the things that they can do and they excel at. Maybe they're not doing it 100% of the way, and I'll be like, "Yo, you guys could definitely try this, try that." And
Yeah.
I'm not even there yet myself. But you're right. You do notice it in other people, and I think it's not up to them to tell you, but it's sad to hear that they would want the downfall rather than the upbringing, which is terrible to hear.
So I didn't have like nobody telling me like, well, besides like my mom and
I was gonna say
close
this-
family members,
Right.
you know, they'll keep me going. But as
Is
far
your
as
mom like the
friends or
type that
anything-
likes follows your music, listens
Oh
to
no, my
it?
mama a Christian. She don't play that.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Even now, when
Respect.
I'm here now, she's like, "Why you gotta go do that? You need to be in church. You need to be." I'm
Is she
like,
just
Mama,
like, is
come
she the
on
mama
now.
that's like, you know what, baby, I'm gonna pray for you,
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
But so is she supportive of the fact that may not, Christians don't really deal with secular music like that. That's not their thing. But is she supportive of you finding your own voice and your own path and things like that, or she prefer you to be more
Back
involved
to
in the church
shy
and
and
things like
conservative
that?
person.
She supported, but she preferred me to rap more for God. She's like, we
Okay.
need you to rap for God. You got to stop this cursing. You got to do this. You got to do this.
You put it on to somebody like Lecrae or anybody like that, because Lecrae is like that balance for.
Yeah, but she wants me to like be more
Yolanda
of that
Adams.
rap or make that type of music.
Yeah,
That's
and she can't just instill it in you. It has to be something you feel and want.
Yeah, but she's
Yeah.
supportive though.
But
she the only one that really like come to all my shows.
Sounds like the
and
mom,
everything.
mom's being mom.
Yeah, mom
Mom
being
being
mom,
mom.
because
Yeah.
that's what they do. Like if they love you, they'll definitely show up and support. But as soon as you get in that car on the way back, now baby, did you have to say it like that? You could have did it like
I
this.
think it takes
Exactly how she is.
It takes it's because for me, like for example, like my mom, she likes the fact that I'm a DJ, but
Yeah.
she's kind of neutral about it at the same time because. In her eyes, she's like, "Well, are you DJing and you making money?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "All right, well,
It usually
makes
comes
sense.
down to that.
It does.
Are you making money doing this?
Are you doing this?
Yeah.
Are you gonna
Yeah.
support your family?
Yeah, that's
Are you
really what it
I
comes
have
down
kids
to.
and my wife, so it's a little harder to not do those things by like do things like, for example, I'm doing a podcast right now, but I'm not making money off of it. So this is something I'm taking on my
Yet.
personal. Yet, I'm
Yeah,
sorry
shout
for
out,
any
we're working on the
sponsors out there.
sponsors. Working on
Hey,
the
shout out to
sponsors.
any sponsors
Yeah, man.
on
Working
set
that.
live. Check us out. No, but you have to. What am I looking for? The word I'm trying to say. Basically, if you're gonna take in something like being an artist seriously, you have to go 100% of the way, knowing that you might not make that money off rip.
Yeah,
you might not.
It
the
almost
things that
never happens
might
off
come
rip.
with it aren't gonna be there off rip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna do it, you're gonna have to have people around you that understand. Like, hey, this is. If I want this to work, I have to push to work it, whether I'm making money or not.
Yep. Yep.
And it's very hard not to make money doing something you love. But
Not really, because you chase the dream, not the bag.
well,
The money gonna come after it.
I agree.
As long as
that's
you keep
positive and forward
grinding,
thinking.
keep doing
Yeah.
what you need to do, the
I-
money is gonna fall
I
right into your lap.
agree, but in my personal
Experience.
opinion, in my experience, people tend to fall off track because they're not able to
Because they're not able to
to
support.
tend to their own needs
Yeah.
or support. Now, I have 2 kids and a wife. I'm not saying DJ is the only route I have because I make money in other avenues in my life, but it would be difficult in my current situation to do what I do and maintain a household.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, I have sacrificed plenty of hours and time with my family and amongst other things to go to an event where I should be home taking care of my kids
Yep.
and I've done gigs where I don't get paid. For example, I did a video shoot and a DJ gig not too long ago where it was all donated time because I believed in that foundation and what they were doing. One recently was one that we put on an interview, Nest of Love Foundation. They bring awareness to domestic violence.
Yep. Shout out to
And
Nest of Love.
I did a walk with them on Saturday like 2 weeks ago. That takes time out of my day.
Yeah.
But you do
And
it for the
away
right
from
cause.
fam. Yeah.
So in my mind, it's perceived more as like how you take that and how you're gonna handle it in your life. Me, I'm in a point where I feel like I can do more things, even though I might not be producing the money that I want yet.
It has to be
So-
like both of you actually alluded to. It has to be a love for whatever it is.
Yeah.
It has to be.
You have to
That's
like
the,
what
that's
you're
the
doing, love
first
what
part.
you're doing, yeah.
Because if you
Because then it does become work, and then when it becomes work and you're not making money,
and
then
you're
you
you're
quit.
also not making
Yeah.
money. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean? Then that because you're right. If
Because I think that's what you meant. You were saying like if you love it, the money will come.
Yeah.
Because that's secondary to anything.
But it also has to be installed in you too, because you have a lot of rappers out here who's doing that
just for the
and
money.
Oh, just
not
for the-
even for the money. They're doing that
The
and they're
fame
not
and-
getting anything back because it's probably like not their gift. They're doing it for clout and to be
Oh,
like
yeah,
other
I
rappers
could
and whatever.
imagine.
So I feel like it needs to be.
I know.
in
I've
you,
I've
and
met
you have to
artists
be
already
grown
just
with
through
that.
here who are like I've been in the game 5 years, 6 years or more, and they've made a bunch of songs. Nothing hits. Nothing gets signed. Things fall through, or
Yeah.
people who are good that know they're good that get hurt and something happens. It's always something. Again, it's another thing. It's another thing with timing, and the right people, just like anything else.
Yeah, I mean, you should be consistently working on the craft and getting better because that's where your opportunities come from.
Yeah, because in the end result, someone's gonna hear you, and the time comes, and you're not ready.
Yep.
or you're not ready, but if you're not at least prepared to display that content,
Yeah.
they're not gonna want to hear it. Yeah.
So now, how long have you been an artist?
I would say for about a year now, but I've been doing music though.
Yeah, you probably, because most writers, they've been writing forever. It's just a point where you decide to take it serious. So
yeah, and that goes back to me saying, coming out of my shyness, me finding who I am, me cutting off that negative energy, and those people from around me.
So was it like a talent contest? Was it just you deciding to, present your art to somebody who may not have been privy to it at first? Like what was the defining moment for you? Because you mentioned the struggle of your mom, but usually there's whatever, like maybe some friends encourage you, hey, look, we got this contest coming up and you'd be dope for that. Do you want to try it? Like what?
It was none of that, because my friends, again, they were snakes. So it was just me on my own. Me just saying that I need to do this. This is my passion. I eat, breathe, and shit.
So you attached yourself to it. Exactly. And that's what drove you.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what was the first thing that you did, though, professionally as an artist?
I recorded The Return.
Okay. Which dropped earlier this year.
Yeah, May 25th.
Yep.
Okay, awesome.
Right around Memorial Weekend.
Yep. It was supposed to drop April 28th, but...
I mean, we weren't saying anything.
Yeah.
May I ask, was there technical difficulties behind it? Was it just a decision-making issue, or?
No, it's just when you work with people who are not as
dedicated.
I won't say eager, but they don't really take you serious. So you're on their time.
You give them credit where the credit's due, but on the delivery part, there was an issue, basically.
Yeah, it's like you pay them for their work, and then they want to give you half-ass shit back.
Yeah. Because they didn't take you serious.
Exactly.
They didn't respect you as an artist enough, and they were kind of lollygagging on the execution or whatever.
That's
and
unfortunate.
that is a thing, is very unfortunate, but it happens so often. It is a story heard a million times over in the industry, but you found a way to still push through, right? So you named it The Return. Why The Return if you haven't been here before? What's returning?
Me back to myself.
Okay.
Me finding myself. Me getting back to the music, back to the roots.
What's some of the subject matter you explored on The Return?
It was a different variety, but I would just letting people into my world more.
Okay.
'Cause like I said, I'm kind of closed in until I really get to know you.
So that was for a lot of people who may have even known you. That was for a lot of people better insight and better understanding of who you were as a person.
Yeah.
Okay. I can do that, because art at the end of the day imitates life. It should, at least, right? And the artists that have the most longevity in the game and who have the most dedicated fans are the ones who are the most honest in their music. And so if you're presenting a project that's the most honest, it's the most honest version of you, just over song and beat, then you're going to gain that respect that whoever it was you were working with didn't want to offer you in the first place.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That's dope right there. So after you dropped The Return, what was the feedback like?
People were excited. They were supportive. I really thought, again, I hate to keep going back to this because I'm not really used to...
But you said you thought you can dance?
No. I'm saying I hate to go back to, the past. But like I said before, I didn't really have the support or anything, and I'm still kind of moving on my own, just how I was before. But when I dropped it, people were reposting it, sharing it.
So
you
like independent, not like Chance the Rapper independent.
No.
Okay.
Chance the Rapper, not.
No, shout out to Chance. I mean, that's Chicago. Shout out to
he
him.
independent for real, or he?
I mean, well, you know what it is with indie artists. There's a misconception. At the end of the day, to be an indie artist, that means you own all your music and all your masters, but you create partnerships with different companies like a record label would to help further your brand. So anybody that's any kind of business, so as an independent artist, you're a private business. and you need to partner up with other businesses to further your brand. That's just how it works. So Chance just has the he's privy to certain relationships built over time, because he's been doing this a lot longer than people even know. And then, he's had certain connections and things like that, but he is not signed to a record label. He can do whatever he wants to do when it really comes down to it. So,
okay,
that's just the joke there. But he's just kind of he's a smart, business savvy guy, and the people who who works with him and his team, they put him in position to create these opportunities, and it just opens the door for other indie artists. So. Chance is definitely one that indie artists should kind of pay attention to the way he moves and kind of emulate, things there, because there's things there, examples there from him that could help out a lot of indie artists.
Okay. I'll be stalking his Instagram tonight.
Tonight. Right now, Chance, I just gave you a new follower, so I feel like you owe me.
You're welcome.
You're welcome there, Chance. So now, you've been at it about a year. And
so what's the biggest struggle now what have you noticed within the year in yourself that you've been doing on your own, that now after the release in May, that you're like, okay, what's the next step for me? Or what is that you're looking to do next? What's the plan? What information are you seeking, or where are you going?
Just building my brand more.
Okay. In what aspect? And
following.
Okay, you're following.
That's all I say. Building my brand more and a following, performing more, getting more recognition, networking more of that.
So like with that, because that is obviously a very important part. What would, for the new listener, right? Who's never heard of you, or someone who's never heard of you, what would make you different? And what makes, because there's 1,000,001 rappers out there. There's 2 in this room right now, right? What would make
Where's the other one?
Oh, it's you and I.
Oh, I thought it was just me.
Oh.
No, I'm playing with you. I'm playing. He said he could take jokes.
I gotta put a beat on real quick.
I think so. I
think
think you got
freestyle.
I think so. But what would make you different? What makes you, palatable to the new ear? If no one's ever heard of you, what makes you stick out?
I speak on the real, and I know y'all hear that a lot, but I really, really speak on the real. If you listen to my music, as far as with other female rappers, I don't really talk sexually in my music. It's just raw. It's like more of a
real rap raw, like chocolate,
like
dropper.
Street type of feeling. So I could feel like, dudes will listen to me.
So when you say,
it's not like sexual.
So when you say street though, like street, how? Give me
like
an
the
example.
struggle street, like Boosie Street.
Okay.
Like Ace Hood, like Lil Snoop, rest in peace.
Yeah.
Like Gucci Man Street.
Burr. I had to for all the Gucci fans. But so street rap, because that's something you don't.
I won't categorize it as street rap, but that's like, mainly.
That's what you're leaning towards.
No. But that's really what I do as of now. I would say if you comparing me to like another female rapper.
Oh, okay.
I don't talk about sex like that. I may talk about it a little bit because I'm still a female, keep it classy, but it's not as provocative or direct like me saying, "Oh,
it's
I'm
crazy."
Doing
you have
this
to
and
like,
doing that.
you have to almost.
You will have to dig
dissect.
in, yeah.
Like what? Like, oh, she's a girl,
right?
But
there's so much nuance though.
She is like tending to guys as well in a different way, so that they don't misconcept that.
Yeah.
She's not a girl. Like it's almost.
So do you find that you have more male fans or female fans?
I have more male fans.
More male fans?
More male. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to see how to. I don't know. Whenever God ready for me to be in touch with females, he'll do it. But it's more male. It's just always male.
Do you think it's because of your angle and approach that a lot of female fans of hip hop aren't gravitating towards you? Do you think that may be it?
Yeah, probably. They probably. I don't know if they could relate or not, but I don't really talk about that. Again, sexual and
you less city girls, more Lauryn Hill
and all that. Yeah, I don't really.
Which is very much needed. This is not. I feel like art again is very. First of all, art is very subjective, right? So whoever the artist is, they write in whatever direction they write. I personally am a fan of everything. I can appreciate everything. But it's kind of a tough balance, because at the end of the day, you want all fans, but you also want to be true to who you are as an artist.
You're right.
And so that's where kind of the balance is going to come in. You know, Jay-Z says, he says a famous line, something about, I wanted to rhyme like common sense, but I did 5 mil, so I haven't been common sense, right? Meaning you know, you have to try to find that balance. And it's tough because, again, you want to still speak your truth, but you would hope that your truth reaches the masses.
Exactly. But I feel like, you know, I bring something to the table because, again, I don't really I haven't heard a female yet who don't really speak sexual in their content, or who's not talking about Chanel, or who's not talking about finessing a dude and sleeping with a dude for his credit cards and his money and all that.
It is the hot subject of
it's like
the moment right now,
oversaturated.
especially in Miami.
Everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Not even Miami. Everywhere. It's like, I don't know why they feel like they need to rap about that to sell.
And I feel like to only rap about that, because there's so much, you know, there's so much happening in the world. There's so much that could be addressed. And how many times do we need to hear that you're about to finesse the dude out the bag?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? We get it. Women are cute. We understand. But how many times can you say that? So I think it's a kudos, you know, big ups to you for going against the grain there, because it's kind of an easy thing to fall into, into that subject matter.
Right.
Because I know a lot of people, I meet a lot of people, and they'll fall into that, you know, because it's easy. It's not hard to do.
I think, and also because they just feel like that's how they can sell records, because they've seen, no disrespect, the Nicki Minaj, the Lil Kims, the Foxy Browns, etc. So they're like, well, if they did it and they had to do this, I have to do it in that. But what about the Lauryn Hills, the Missy Elliott's, the Queen Latifah's?
Like even currently, like Rhapsody. Are you a fan of Rhapsody? Yeah. Okay. I figured as much, because just based on the way that you say that you write music, you would you would have to be, but Rhapsody strikes me as a person that you would like, because she has incredible substance and she can rap really, really well, and she challenges that.
But she overlooked a lot. She's
very overlooked because she doesn't have the traditional, like female look as far as artist goes, and she's completely like a 180 compared to a lot of what's out right now. You know what I mean? It's a complete 180.
And people, you know, go against what they don't understand, because
she gets on records with Kendrick and is right there with him.
Yeah, is being overlooked such a bad thing though sometimes? I mean, and I only ask this because, and this will prepare you for my next question, because I only ask because that also is a longevity to also being overlooked.
Yeah. I agree.
Only reason I say that is because if you are good and you're not maybe out in the public, doesn't mean you're not good. Because I mean, you can talk about Drake all day because he's such a commercial artist, but in the end of the day, you're like, there's 10 other artists who are 10 times better than him, I would assume.
Well, I would only say, just with this, Drake is probably the worst example.
Well, I only said that because he's the most seen.
Yeah, he's the most seen.
I wasn't using
but he's consistently good.
Yeah,
with what he does.
Okay, yeah,
you know what I mean. And he's been doing it now for 10 years. There's people who can't do it for a year.
It also goes down to whether or not, if it matters that you're financially you're higher in the game or you're not. Like, so it depends on your idea of good. Good can mean a lot of things. Good can mean you're good as an artist. You're good, and you're famous. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think there's different
factors
steps
to it. There's definitely factors to it.
You know what? And that's what I admire about one of my favorite rappers, Kevin Gates.
Oh, Kevin.
Shout out to Kevin Gates.
I like Kevin Gates, and I admire him because he's not afraid to be vulnerable. I feel like a lot of male rappers, it's like, oh, F this bitch and bros over hoes, but Kevin Gates, he give it to you raw. He let you know if the girl broke his heart. He let you know, I fucked up with this, and that's what I like, the versatility, how he's open, how he's not afraid to be himself.
I I just want to sidebar real quick because I thought this was funny, but please don't beat me up. I like how you muted the F word, but you made sure to say bitch. It's one of those things.
I'm trying not to cuss.
I see that.
You 5-0.
Oh, look, I got one of my points taken back, though. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that.
No, you reached 5 to tally. She crossed out the 1.
Yeah, that's it. That's what it was. No, Gates is definitely dope. He's dope. I like him for the same reasons. He is a street dude, you know what I mean? But he's very much he's very much in tune with who he is as a man overall, and I think that's the most important thing. Because you're right, a lot of artists, male and female, doesn't matter, put on this like facade, you know what I mean? And they got to be who they think is popular or what's gonna work. And Gates is the same dude that'll pray for you and tell you don't touch him in the same interview.
Exactly.
In the same interview. 2 seconds after each other, you know what I mean? So I like that about him, because he's 100% him,
right?
Every single time.
That's the only right way to be.
That's it.
Be yourself.
Yeah. So you feel like when you are writing and you're presenting yourself to the masses, you feel like you're presenting who you really are every single time.
Right. Yep. I am, and they either listen to it or you don't.
Has there been any subject matter you shied away from? Anything you may have wanted to talk about, but you don't?
Nah. Probably more personal.
Okay.
I was saying I don't really give people too much of me in my personal life. That's all I say.
I almost think it's better that way as an artist.
You got to have something for yourself.
I think there should be it's almost like kind of a mask. You should give them the mask. You give them a bit of what you stand for, who you are, what it is. Everything else personal should be kept to yourself. I think that goes a long way, because just this music industry is savage in that manner. I think
this music industry sucks. It is what it is.
Oh, to segue back to what I was saying earlier about my second question that I was preparing for was the longevity thing, right? Being overlooked. Are you prepared for that? And I'm not saying that that's going to be the case, but it sounds like you understand walking into certain situations that they might not look at you the same, act the same, treat you the same. I don't want to say because you're female, but just all kinds of reasons, right? That you've mentioned earlier. Mm-hmm. Are you prepared for that in the long run? Because that may affect you to be that one artist who is overlooked, or maybe a commercial artist, and you might not be. It kind of just depends.
I feel that way now,
And you're only a year in.
Yeah, because I don't have the colorful hair, or I may not look or dress how society will want a female to look or dress, or how Instagram, the Instagram models and thoughts and all them, so I feel like that now. But I also believe in God, and I believe that what he gives you, no man can block or curse. So if he said if it's for you, then it's for you.
I agree.
Whether if it's 5 years from now, 10 years from now.
That was my next question was, do you think you'll feel beat up in 10 years if you're in the same place?
Yeah, I feel like I failed myself a little bit.
Some people feel like that's part of the game in general.
I was going to say, what if you don't have the commercial success, but you have that core that
people know who you are.
They know who you are. They follow you. It's almost like a cult kind of deal. Like, Rhapsody doesn't have the commercial success.
Yeah.
But she has a strong core following that, she goes. Yeah, she's not selling out to AAA. She's not selling out to AAA, but she can get 1,500 in Revolution Live, who love and know every lyric of hers, which is more. Or I guess that means what would be your definition of success at that point?
As long as I'm able to provide for myself and my family and keep us above water.
Staying humble, man.
Then I'm good. I don't really care, because this commercial stuff is, to me, I feel like it's going underwater anyway. It's too much
it's watered down now.
Yeah, it's too much of clout chasing, and it's just too much of sucker going on, man.
Suck what?
You like trying to get?
I'm trying, I'm trying not to cuss. Trying not to cuss. Too much of sucker shit going on.
You speak on clout a lot. Let's talk about. I don't want to say it's your beef with clout, but let's talk about your concerns with clout. Because off air, you definitely was.
It was the first thing you expressed.
It's just a lot of sucker clown shit going on.
Like
that
what
I
though?
don't
Explain
respect.
explain it for the listener who may not know or understand what that means really.
Clout. You can look it on Google, but this is my definition. I would say, just anybody who goes out their way to be a clown, to get views and likes and
Attention
streams
seeking.
and stuff like that. Just clown shit.
So, and also to kind of help set the scene for a lot of people who don't know or listen, clout is like the new currency on the internet, in the sense that the more notarized you are, then just the more attention you have,
And the more appealing you may
the
be.
more appealing you may be. You know, so I don't have a problem with this guy, but a lot of people do. But like, say somebody like 6ix9ine, a lot of people, he is probably the poster child right now for what clout chasing is, because he does all these different things and it creates all this buzz, and then he drops a record, and then before you know it, it went platinum, and that's kind of, he rinses and repeats. So, you know, off air, she was speaking on.
She's nodding so hard right now.
Off air,
I
she
don't
was speaking on.
respect
Huh?
that. I don't respect the clout.
Yeah, I mean, and look, it's not. We've talked about this. I forget which episode it was, but you know, the climate, the music climate that we live in now, as much as it should be about the talent, it is about your ability to draw attention. Now, people disagree on the ways that people, you know, different artists draw attention to themselves, but that much is, it's a measurable stat that can be monetized. So it's a very tough thing, because I feel like that's going to be, your disdain for clout is going to, it could potentially, rather, I don't want to say going to, it could potentially hinder your popularity. And then how do you feel about that? Like, I get this sense that you would never ever do some sucker shit. I'm not saying that you should, but how do you feel that at the end of the day, it's not always about talent?
It's not. You're right. You have a lot of talented individuals that I see and hear every day, but since they're not out here bamming on people's doors and saying they
Doing
going
a lot of wild shit.
you know,
I mean, wild shit.
Yeah, they beefing with this person, they doing this, so they get overlooked by someone who is, and then that someone who is, they get signed to major label, they get in the shows, they get no hate towards them, but it's like, damn.
I feel like it's also the viewer's fault too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it is.
You know,
it's not just them. I mean, they're just taking advantage of what they would consider to be a good situation,
right?
But it's not.
Right.
And it's like the people. Have you ever noticed? It's like people love the car crash, right? Like, think about, you get stuck on 95.
Yeah, you're driving by, you see the car crash.
You see the car crash.
Like,
everybody slow down. They want to look, point. People taking pictures and Snapchat. And all
I bet you
of
the
stuff.
first thought wasn't in your mind was, is he or she okay?
And it's kind of terrible. People love to see though the drama, the beef.
But then it's those same people who's in the comments saying, "Oh,
it should
we
be
need
about
more talent rappers and all this." But
I
y'all,
agree.
the main ones who
I agree.
boosting
It's
it up.
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
true.
it's I always tell people that when you promote what you hate, you are still promoting.
Exactly.
Period.
I go back to the local business analogy.
Yeah.
This, because I think it's a good one. It's like
Well, you came up with it by yourself, so good job.
I appreciate that. You know what? Thank you.
Shout out to you, bro.
Because 300 would have took
He
my
would have
idea.
took all that credit. Shout out to you.
If you didn't know, our other DJ, our host 300 International, likes to take ideas from us.
Yeah, that's what he does.
And declare them as his own. But that's just an insider. But enough with that joke. What I was trying to mention was the business analogy I mentioned earlier was our local businesses is to mention that it's like going to Vistaprint for business cards.
Yeah.
Paying $40, but you can pay $10 more and bring it to your local supplier, and they make money and put that in their pocket. Not only are you creating network and you're bringing something to the economy.
I would say the local economy.
The local economy. It's the same thing when it comes to the clout, right? You're dealing with something that you can monetize on, that people are taking advantage of people that don't know any better, but those people know better because they're also complaining, right?
Right.
About, you were just mentioning, you're like, well, they say they need a good artist, but they're liking idiots who are just talking shit about themselves, bringing bad attention to them. But just like anybody who's trying to make money online these days, because that's what today is about. That's the internet, is that you want to monetize, you have to bring attention to yourself, whether it's good or bad, because any type of publicity is good publicity.
Yep.
You're right, but what happens, because this
But
is just an app. What happens when the app stops working? When you can't do that. You can't. So you're not going to know how to hustle.
Shout out to everybody who didn't know how to
and
recover
sell
from
your
Backpage going down.
CDs and network and all that, because you're so used to just doing clown shit.
I agree, because I think it comes down to understanding it's like, how am I going to put it? It's like you're a DJ, right? I'm a DJ, and I have a good understanding from the time that I picked up a controller and a computer to the point I'm at now, and I realized that there's more to it than what I came in liking, right? You have to have a foundation for that. I have a certain respect for the DJ artistry behind it, but I also understand that I'm not that type of DJ.
Yeah.
When I say that, I say that because I didn't learn to scratch. I didn't learn to do those things off rip. I learned even just recently, maybe in the last year or two, how to be that type of DJ. And I think that goes to say that you have to understand where you stand as far as like that foundation. It's important to have, because down the road, when you start getting up the ladder, that's the foundation. That's what matters. Because the minute you get up here and Instagram takes a shit, you're back on the foundation. You're back to where you started.
Right.
That's what you're saying. What if it goes away one day? Some company's gonna buy it out and say fuck Instagram.
Yeah, I mean,
Facebook owns it, but I don't see them going anywhere anytime soon. But like, imagine that. Imagine the one platform that's providing monetization, bringing you income,
right,
based off bullshit, goes down the hill. Who are you gonna bring your bullshit to?
Just like MySpace.
Then no one's gonna care about you anymore, because they can't find you.
Right.
So how do you find them? How do you get you to
They
them?
didn't care from the beginning. They just was entertained by their coolness.
Yeah, and then
you have to build that.
Really
you have to use
either.
that following that Tay was mentioning earlier, where you have a specific follower that follows you. Those 1,500 that go and see you.
Yeah.
Right.
That know your every word, that know your every song. I think that's very important, and that starts with, just like I do, knocking on doors and asking for the gig and asking to hear my music. And I think, and we'll bring it back to, this is why the podcast exists. This is why we did this, is so we can talk to artists about this. Because I think you even said it, you have a group chat with Florida local artists and friends.
Shout out to XMG.
XMG, that you were telling us earlier, that you guys all talk about bringing Florida back together and talking about Florida and bringing those people who are not heard together and being mentioned. Yeah, for any of the listeners out there, the minute she walked in, she challenged me as a DJ to ask me right off top, and was like, "What kind of DJ are you?" And I like that, because it does make you think,
and it holds people accountable though. People need to be held accountable at the end of the day. All of us do.
Yeah, because like she mentioned earlier, DJs don't. Time and place for everything, but most DJs don't go out of their way to support the local business, quote unquote. Again,
specifically in Florida.
Specifically in Florida, because you're right. You mentioned, what was it, Atlanta? You go to Atlanta and they're playing everybody's shit.
Right.
But you go here and everyone's like, nope, don't want to touch it.
Yeah, everybody else music besides home team.
I don't know why though. I would love to discuss that more, because I'm not entirely sure why that happens.
Well, Atlanta definitely has that.
Because there's a musical
artist economy.
presence there, I think.
Oh, super.
Right.
They have such a musical economy that they support it. They just support each other though. But it's they have such a system there, from the clubs to the DJs to the artists and they can feed each other and they're self-sustainable. Miami, unfortunately, is a transient city, so everybody comes in from everywhere else.
Kind of like going to a college town.
Right. Exactly.
I think that's the best way to put it.
There's obviously homegrown artists.
You're hot,
in Miami,
and then you're not. You're hot,
but that's the opportunity right there. Like in Miami, you have all the tourists, you have all the artists coming South Beach, and it's like, that's the time to showcase these artists. But it kind of turned into. But they don't.
So Miami might be the type of place where you have to catch the wave. Literally.
It turned into a hustle, in the sense that some of these higher name DJs and these big clubs or these big promoters or whatever, they will book a local artist for a nominal fee. I'm not saying that there isn't money to be made or that artists shouldn't invest in themselves or things like that. But it's a pay to play in Miami. if there ever was a place, this is definitely one of the
Yeah,
places.
I had Matty P come up to me at Lucky's. He was our third artist out of XMG and LCF, the last one. Oh, I forgot. I'm sorry you weren't there, but me and 300 were there, and he was ready to drop $50 on me for a song, and I was like, "It's like, you sure, man? Like, you coming up behind these two artists and da da da," and he was willing to pay, and like he knew that he had to do that, so he must have come from an environment where that only exists in that manner, and he reps Broward, I believe, if not Dade.
He came out of Florida. That's what it.
And so that goes to show you that's how it is. He's like, "Nah, I know the game. Here's $50. Play my song." I was like,
and it's
it is what it is.
Because the DJs we touched on in the last interview, DJs need to be paid as well and compensated for their time and their efforts, things like that.
That goes to show he understands too.
Right.
But I still feel like as home team we can still show love.
Oh, 100%.
Everything shouldn't be always about money.
Well,
because
you'll get people nickel and diming people as well at that point. Like
I mean, not saying that they shouldn't get paid because they should be compensated.
Yeah,
nothing is free. But when they have these different artists come down, it's like,
well, you know the other side of that though is if all they can do is be bought off, then they'll play anybody if the money's right.
But they're not. Are they playing anybody though, or they only playing what's popping?
No, they'll play what's popping unless you can provide them with X amount of dollars. And I know a lot of people in the Miami industry and on the Miami radio scene and in the club scene and things like that, and I've seen it a million times over. They will play what's hot, because if Lil Baby, he's popping obviously in Atlanta now. He got like two really big records right now, one with Drake and one with him and Gunna. But they were playing Lil Baby. Well, QC has a special relationship with a lot of DJs down here in Miami, but they pretty much bought that. That's how the City Girls kind of got their thing off with Slip and Slide. There's a lot of partnerships things over there.
But I disagree with it.
Well,
I just feel like, not with all of it, but it's the clout thing.
No, but the clout
thing.
The clout comes from,
people want to get their ass kissed and all this and that.
The clout thing comes from who's ever willing to pay. That's really what it comes down to.
But you have some artists I see, they pay and it's still like,
no. It sounds like you have a deep like.
No, because I really hate that.
I understand.
Like, you come to Florida, you don't hear Florida artists. You hear everybody else.
Yeah, almost international.
But when you get out of Florida, you hear home team, and they play other people. Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, 6ix9ine, etc. But they're still mixing in their home team. Why it can't be like that here? And I feel like all I hear is excuses. Oh, you gotta pay. Oh, you gotta do that. Okay, I paid. Now what's next? Oh, you gotta do that.
I would actually say this. 'Cause I'm more of a solutions person, right? So, what's your suggestion to combat that?
Just support each other.
But in what way? Because the support could be a very broad brush that you paint.
Now, I'm not saying.
Because me personally, I can be like, I'll definitely play your stuff.
Right.
But what's gonna make that turn into a shared process where not only am I gonna be like, yo, shit's dope, I'm gonna promote it and tell my other DJs and send the records. Now, that actually, I'm thinking of an idea right now. That's probably a good way as a DJ to do that. I could be like, yo, it's a dope record, and just start emailing all my DJ friends.
Yeah.
That's one way I could provide. But what are you going to do to change the minds of people that don't provide that?
I would say, one, as an artist, you need to have your paperwork together.
Word.
That's just number one.
Paperwork.
Everything need to be in order. Number two, just support each other. Don't just always think, because I'm not trying to say that the DJs have to do it and they always have to do it and you just don't have to do anything. But support them. If they support you, they're playing your music. Go to some of their shows. Go to some of their events. Repost some of their things.
Shit, you paid $20 at the door to go and see them just to get the song.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say
support.
That's a huge thing. Artists don't really realize that, because again, DJs are essentially artists as well, trying to get their name and brand out as well. And if you are hounding these DJs to play your joint and they're doing a gig at wherever it is they're doing a gig, a lot of DJs are kind of graded or assessed on their ability to bring bodies in the building as well.
You know what I think would be a cool idea? Maybe this could be edited out if we have to, but I think a cool idea would be that we collectively found a way to reach these DJs and other people that we want to network to, whether that means like literally going to each of the spots, or finding them in some type of directory, whatever the case may be, reaching out and creating some type of network event for everybody.
Yeah.
I think that's one way, like literally trying to just find the people physically and say, hey, give me your card. I'm going to send you an email. If you're interested, you should come. And we plan a date out far ahead where we network and we find those DJs and we have artists come through and they're able to present their work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Say Cheese and New Era, shout out to Say Cheese and New Era. They just did a pop-up shop in Broward August 25th. I think that was August 25th. It was real dope. You know, so we can do stuff like that. But again, it's like,
I think it comes
why
down
do
to
it? It's just support. I think it's just mutual support.
I think it comes for you, and I feel like I'm very supported, right?
Yeah.
So it sounds like because you've been doing this for about a year and you kind of been solo dolo, I feel like you don't really have you don't have a team behind you. You've mentioned that you've gone through some struggle. You've had people that have been negative that you don't want to keep around you. It sounds like you've been having a hard time. You're also angry about certain things and the way they work. And at least this is my perspective, so sorry if it's misconcepted that way. But the way I see it is that you need a team. Or you don't need a team, but a team would be nice to have, or someone that would support you, just like you're saying. So I'm going to tell you right now, me as someone who's listened to your music already, who's been already like, you know, planning in my mind to see you and figure out what we're going to do, like this is something I would consider. That's my idea. I think that'd be a great way for us to do it. We should do a pop-up party. We should do a way for us to collectively bring people together, and we should work together to share your music and share our events and etc. That's something I personally will say I will do because that's who I am as a DJ.
This is on the set, so
yeah, we're on the set.
On the set. You know
if you're listening in, this is DJ XO. Got my boy.
The Takeover, TAY from the CHI.
Missing 300 International right now.
Yeah, I think he's
special guest in the house. How we pronounce it?
Maybe he's on a cruise or something.
Special guest. How you pronounce it, Tay?
He trying to make you.
You see that? I was trying to avoid it.
I want to make sure.
Nunudelaunay.
Hey.
He got it.
No, it really ain't. It isn't that hard. I have just been drinking. And I'm trying not to use that as an excuse because that is not professional. And I refuse to be that guy.
I think we can do great things together. If you have the right people that have the good mindset like you're looking for, I think whether you were looking for them or not, I think it would be a great asset to you.
But not even a team because it's not like
When I say team, I just mean one person, or
it could be one person.
But not even that, like, because I'm not begging for nobody to support me, because I'm gonna go do what I got to do regardless if somebody
100%.
with me or not.
I'm just saying.
But I'm just saying.
On the aspect of the networking part, like the Florida part.
I'm speaking for the whole Florida. Like we need the support. I hear it all the time.
You talking about
no disrespect, Ball Greasy, Trick Daddy, everybody. Oh, we need to do this. When we gonna do this? Come together as Florida, and nobody ain't doing nothing. Just talking. Got to make a move.
Yeah, do have to bust a move. 100% on that. I think that what I like is the determination to buck the system, because the system does suck. It's terrible. It's trash, and that in itself is going to help as long as you keep that kind of the same determination. That's going to help push you through. But what Excel is saying is having access to a network could be beneficial to you, because at the end of the day, as much as you want to do on your own, as much as you will fight for whatever it is on your own, it's always good to have people in your corner helping to fight that good fight on your behalf, because there's gonna be moments where you're not going to be everywhere that Excel is going to be when he's doing whatever it is he's doing in DJing. But if he has one of your records and he's helping to kind of move on your behalf and for your benefit, it's going to help you out as well. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's just good to still have and create that network. It's going to be a slow burn, but slow progress is better than no progress at the end of the day.
You're right.
And you've been in this for a year. There's people who've been doing this thing for 10 years and
no action,
no perspective. You know what I mean? They drop the hardest mixtapes that only them and their boys know about. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to be able to benefit from that, having access to a network of people. And
it even sounds like you already have one, if not. I mean, you just telling us about XMG, and that alone right there was like, shout out to them again. Yeah, that's cool.
Did they give you 3D glasses too or no?
No, I only know one of them.
Yeah, Exotic.
Exotic?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I don't know the whole group. Just one.
Are you a personal fan of their music? You don't have to lie. It's okay.
We going on commercial break. We'll be right back.
Oh,
No, but I haven't listened to. I haven't listened to their music, so I don't know.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay. No,
but they grinding out. They grinding. They doing their thing.
I feel it's funny. I don't feel like that's unheard of to hear artists who are artist friends who haven't heard each other's music. I think it's actually pretty normal, in my opinion. I've heard that before.
It happens.
I say that because a lot of people are more focused on like, hey, yo, like I'm doing my thing. They see maybe perform, or maybe they just know him by acquaintance. But a lot of the time, I feel like that happens. Actually,
we more like acquaintances.
Yeah, I would imagine
too much.
If they said they didn't listen to your music, how would you take that?
They just don't listen to it.
Okay. Yeah. Now I just wanted to see where you was at with it. I thought you were like, I'll pull up on it.
Well,
Nah.
But you gotta understand that not everyone's gonna, and if they do listen, they may not like it, or if they don't like it, or they just never listen to it.
You'll learn every artist. If you're an artist listening to this, man, you'll learn. Not everybody's gonna fuck with your shit. Yeah, it just don't work that way.
Right.
It does not work that way. I don't care what you think you are. Whoever is the hottest person in the world, Drake is considered the number one artist, and I know a lot of people, clearly not enough, but I know a lot of people who don't fuck with Drake at all. Which is funny though, because as soon as Non-Stop drop in the club, they right there singing it. You know, it's weird. But
I don't know nobody who don't listen to Drake.
No, and if they say they don't listen, they be like low key hating, because they all got a Drake record.
Everybody is like Drake fans.
If they guys, they done sent the girl a Drake record. If they girls, they done sent the dude. How come you can't be like Drake? K. Michelle wrote a song said Drake would treat me like this.
Feel that way.
one person.
Oh, one person. We
might know one person.
You don't listen to Drake?
So look, let's transition a little bit then. We do a thing called this or that. Okay, but we just try to get a general idea, which I think we kind of know. We kind of know where you are with certain things. We try to get a general idea of just who you are outside of the music, or why you prefer certain things over certain things.
Okay.
You with that?
I'm with it.
All right, so
I'll ask my first ones. Snickers or Twix?
Snickers.
Why?
I don't know. That's like who don't like Snickers?
People who like Twix.
I'll give you my answer. My answer is also Snickers.
Snickers is the best chocolate candy ever.
But you get two with the Twix though.
Nah, you really get more with the Snicker, because you get the chocolate, then you get the caramel, then you got the peanuts in the middle.
Oh, okay.
Then you have the little white
when
stuff.
You cut through that
everything
puppy, you
in
get
one.
everything there, bro.
Everything in one.
I'll tell you right now, the volume between a Twix and a Snickers is about the same, if not.
It's true. If you combine the two.
Maybe.
Snicker, and you can freeze the Snickers, man. That shit's fire.
Bro.
When you
Still
do it.
fire, right?
When you do it like that. All right, because you are an artist who's also a female, and clearly there was two beefing relatively recently. Do you prefer Nicki or Cardi? And if you don't care for either one of them, say that.
No, I don't, because I would. They don't pay my bills. But I would say, damn, I got to pick one?
Yeah.
They both good to me.
So then I'll say this. What do you like about them?
Nicki Minaj is very talented, but
People
I don't
be so
like,
sleep on how talented she is.
I don't like her
Attitude.
personality,
Yep.
her attitude.
Yep.
Cardi B, she got the hit records and whatever, she doing her thing.
First of all,
I like her personality. She's more like raw and natural to me.
Shout out to you and your media training right there, because how you avoid to be like, she can't rap.
Nah, but she's more raw and natural. Like, when I hear Cardi B or I go to her Instagram, I don't feel like I'm listening or looking at somebody who's impersonating someone else.
I 100% believe that Cardi is 100% her every time.
Yeah,
definitely. And this is never to shit on someone like Cardi. Cardi can definitely rap, and she's transitioned herself from what she was to what she is now beautifully in about a span of 2 years. I mean, she's probably the number one female artist, especially urban female artist right now, and you can't deny it. She has, like, I think they just dropped a stat on her. She has 11 tracks on her album, 10 of them certified, like RIAA certified gold, at least 10 out of the 11. That's impressive. However you feel about whoever you feel about them, whatever it is, that's impressive alone.
I think because people, again, they can relate to Cardi B.
Relatability is very important.
She was a stripper. She came from the hood. We all, well, I
I
can't say
am
we
a
all,
stripper.
but I come from the hood. I wasn't a stripper though, but I came
This is my
from
life.
the hood, and she just got that raw, natural personality. And we seen her grow. We seen her work. I've seen her on Love and Hip Hop, going back to the DJ thing, asking DJ Self, like, play my music, do this. And DJ Self, like, oh, yeah, I got you, yeah.
Self was trying to smash, though.
Nah, I know he probably like,
he was trying to smash.
But he missed out on the bag, though.
He did. He messed up.
He fucked
I
up.
wonder how he feel about that. He looking at her now. She's the number one urban artist in the game. She's killing everything right now.
I know he probably fighting the air. He mad.
That's all right. He'll be all right. He gonna try to recreate another Cardi B because that's usually what they do.
That's what he trying to do, but there's only one Cardi.
That's what they try to do. All right, so let me see. What's another this or that for Florida? You a Chevy girl or a Ford girl?
Chevy.
Box Chevy, huh? Or Bubbles or Donks, as y'all call them.
Yeah.
We used to call them Bubbles up north,
Donks.
though.
Don't.
That's what we did. We call them Bubbles.
Call them don't.
Yeah. Why? Because
I don't know why they call them don't.
No. Why do you prefer it?
I just go with who I am. Like.
You're a donk rider. Like.
Nah. Nah, but it just go with who I am. I prefer a Chevy. Just that hood vibe.
Okay. What you got, XL?
For me, I had one earlier, but we already talked about it. I was talking the Rhapsody, but we mentioned that way early in the interview. So
Yeah.
You about to? You good?
Who, me?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
You about to you crunking out?
Oh no, I'm good.
Okay.
I got lots of energy. I'm fine. If anything, I've rested up.
First of all,
I just can't. I just got over a flu in the past a week and a half or so. So I've been, I'm way ready for anything but laying in bed and sleeping.
And we also just found out, I don't know if you could tell, but his former DJ name was DJ Too Intense. So I know you see the intensity and feel it.
Do I seem too intense? I seem intense right now, don't I?
That's your DJ name?
No. It's DJ Exhale.
Exhale.
Yeah, like inhale, exhale.
Oh, I thought it was XL.
No. That's another friend, actually. His name's DJ XL. But my name is DJ Exhale.
Oh,
I actually was given that name. I used to DJ at a local hookah lounge. Shout out to Kahookah Cafe. My boy Ahmad, Sammy, and then Iyad as well. They used to own it together. But yeah, I used to do that for about 3 years. One of the artists we had on here, that's how I met him as well. He's actually in the room.
Huh.
Oh, I didn't say art. I'm sorry, producer.
He's about to be disrespectful, man.
My bad, messed up.
Shout out to YNC Nut, man.
But
a friend of the show.
There was two twins that worked at the Kahookah Cafe at the hookah lounge, and they always give me all kinds of crazy names, man. I didn't have one. At the time, I was just starting out and trying to DJ at certain venues and stuff. I really was just sticking to. At first, it was DJ Too Intense. I was in my room DJing, doing a mix when one of my friends walked in. He's like, he just made up the name, and I was.
Were you practicing your faces in the mirror or anything?
I don't know. Apparently, I don't do a good job. She already called me out. She thought I was about to fall asleep or something. It's not the case, I promise. But
DJ Too Intense.
Yeah, it was not. Yeah, I didn't like it. I mean, I actually held on to the name for about 6 months, and then I let it go, and I just stuck with my regular name, Steven. But the two twins at the hookah lounge, they gave me the name. I don't know why, but I liked it. I looked it up. Nobody really had it. I found one person on Twitter who had my name. But it was just a blank account. Yeah, with 3 followers. They released all the accounts. I snatched them all, and I took the name from me.
Okay.
So that's how I was named. And mainly I was named that because I loved going to smoke hookah. That was my thing. I grew up with a lot of Arabic friends, and they all had hookahs from the age that they could literally get a hands on, And so we always would go after school, and they had their own spots. So I would go to their spot, and I don't know. Exhale was just the first thing that they thought of.
So is hookah real weed and what is it?
No, well, hookah is a tobacco.
Yeah.
It's what's the best way to explain that?
Well, yeah, flavored tobacco.
Flavored tobacco, yeah,
and it's done with with coals as opposed to like tobacco leaves or anything like that. Now there's the experienced hookah smokers who put other things in there to enhance their experience.
The way I would see it is if you put weed in a hookah itself, it burns too quick, I think, in my opinion, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I don't do drugs. So.
Because the coal burns too quickly. When it's like flavored tobacco, it's more like almost wet when you top it off and stuff. So it takes a while to burn through it. Whereas opposed to like putting in weed and putting in like a bong or whatever the case may be, it would usually burn through too quickly. Weed also burns just quickly in general.
I know
so
people
it's
who
not
infuse
like
it with
or anything. You can't get it.
Well, it's tobacco, so you are smoking.
You can get cancer from anything nowadays. So
I mean,
Everything
to make you
gives you
feel
cancer.
better, I'm a very light user these days, if at all. But
I know people who
I don't
infuse
smoke.
alcohol in their hookahs. So that adds a
yeah,
different
you can
element
add
to
all
it.
kinds of stuff. I mean, it's because you're basically you're boiling or not boiling, but what's the word I'm looking for? It's like vapor.
Yeah,
almost.
vaping. There you go. That would be the best.
That'd be the best way. But you're burning tobacco, so you're inhaling the bad substance as well. It's supposed to be worse than smoking a cigarette, supposedly.
I thought it was just like hot water. People just
making
Smoke
hookah
out
tea.
of
No, you're definitely burning
Should I make
something.
hookah tea?
yeah. That's what I thought it was. No,
Yeah, I mean, this is me basing it off articles I've read online. I still will smoke a hookah if it's presented to me. Maybe that's just my poor choice of health choices, but yeah, I mean, I like it. I think it's better than. I mean, personally, I like it better than smoking like a cigarette or anything like that. I don't really have a taste for smoking outside of hookahs, or maybe vaping. But that's just been my thing. I'm a very light user now, though, in general.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you haven't started or you don't like it, you don't know anything about it, I would say, sure, try it. But I mean, if you can't avoid smoking in general, probably
It's kind of a
don't do it.
novelty thing too. People kind of do it because it looks cool.
Yeah, I think it's kind of why people brought it out, made things of it. That's why they made lounges and they added it as like an accessory to clubs and it just seemed like the thing to do. Just like
So it's more of a expensive crack pipe.
pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
You went from tea to crack. That's so funny.
But but it also means different. It also means differently to to people, right? They might be a religious thing. To be honest with you, I don't know the meaning behind like hookahs or anything or why they're used in the manner that they use. I just know that when I was brought up with my friends, that was something they smoked all the time. So that's why I smoked it, because I liked it too. I liked the feeling of it. You're not even really supposed to get like a crazy high from it or anything.
Nah, it doesn't.
The worst you can do is inhale a lot of it, and you might feel like lightheaded a bit.
A little lightheaded, but it doesn't get you high.
Some people consider that to be a good feeling, though. Oddly enough.
So is there anything else like that you're currently working on that you want the people to know about you before you get on out of here?
Any new plugs? Anything coming up? Any projects?
Yeah, I'm still pushing my project, The Return.
Cool.
I'm doing a video shoot for that next month.
For which song?
All Day.
All Day?
That's
All Day?
like a really requested song that people like. So
That's
I'm
what's
gonna
up.
do
That's good.
a video shoot for that. And then after that, release some music, singles. Then I'm going to drop a mixtape again by the end of this year.
Video gonna be all in Florida, right? Keep it Florida? Or are you gonna go
Everything
out?
Florida?
No, I'm going to keep it Florida.
Word.
Where can people, when they're looking for The Return, where can they go find it?
Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music is everywhere. YouTube, SoundCloud.
And spell the name so they can know how to search it.
The Return?
No, your name.
My name is spelled Nunud as in dog, Elaunay. Nunudelaunay.
It's exactly what I've been saying this entire interview.
Yeah.
I want people to know that.
Sure.
It's exactly what I was saying
I don't think so.
the whole time.
Oh, and I have a video out right now too. It's called Do It Big.
Do it big?
Yeah.
Is that song on your project as well?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
That's the video I seen.
I didn't see
remember
that.
seeing that one.
Oh, is that one of the ones you were previewing on your Instagram?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just didn't know the name then. Gotcha. Awesome.
And then, so is all your social media the same way? Like it's all.
Yeah, everything is Nunudelaunay. You can
Gotcha.
follow me.
Gotcha. Y'all
You heard it here.
Y'all make sure y'all go follow her everywhere. Go and check out The Return everywhere it is you stream or listen to your music. She got some new shit that's about to drop for you. Sorry, some new Should I edit out the curse words?
New shit. I'm about to drop, you know.
Yeah,
Listen
man.
to it, stream
Music
it,
video coming out next month.
download it.
Yep.
Like,
The Return.
Got any shows coming up or anything?
yeah, but I can't really even.
You can't speak on that to that paperwork, right?
No, it's not even that. It's just people be trying to copy the drip, so I can't really do that.
Okay.
Okay, I
So
got
now I
you.
have to post my flyers like an hour before the show.
Damn.
That's wild. That's what kind of demand you in?
It's not even that. It's just, you know, when people try to keep up with you, and it means a lot. So I got to post my stuff
right,
like an
man.
hour before or 30
heard
minutes
it.
before. I just
Keep an eye on her IG, her social media.
You
That
gotta
way you know where to
literally-
go.
You got to check the way she said she's going to stalk Chance earlier today. Y'all have to stalk her Instagram because she might do a pop-up show on your ass. And
Yeah.
the hour,
We'll have to
you know,
do
you
one
got about an
ourselves
hour to
with
get
you,
there.
man.
yeah.
Got to do some shit for real.
Yeah.
Definitely. We appreciate you stopping through to On the Set, bringing all that swag that you bought, cussing me out a couple times.
I
She didn't
never
really cuss
cursed
me
I
out.
mean, you
know.
deserved it.
I
Probably.
never cursed
It's
you
very rare that I deserve them. You know what I mean? Like most of it's
Did you say it was
unwarranted.
rare that you deserve them?
Yeah, it's
No,
very
no,
rare
that's
that
not
I
true.
deserve
You
being
deserve
cussed
them.
out. You know what I'm saying? I'm a nice guy. But
It's okay. She got on me too. She thought I was crunking out.
yeah, she did.
No,
she
I
did.
thought you were. I'm like, damn, I'm boring.
Nah. Chill. That's
Damn,
never the
let me
case.
know.
DJ
No,
Too
no.
Intense. So yes, we are On the Set live one last time. Is your boy to take over the TAY from the CHI. We got to shout out DJ 300. Where is he at right now?
He is at another gig,
Supposedly.
supposedly, or
Yeah.
he's in jail. Who knows?
He might be arrested. There's a good chance he got arrested.
Sorry,
so.
we'll save him. We'll save him later.
I mean, hopefully, if
It's more important to be here with her, you know.
if our views get up and we actually get paid, then we can go get him out. But
Make sure
Oh,
I
okay.
get at least 7%,
7?
10%. You know.
I'm about to say 7 sounded pretty good to me.
Nah.
I was like,
So
we
it's a
can,
little
10%.
cheap.
Yeah, we
You're
can
a
do
great
that.
friend. You're a good friend.
You're a good friend.
At least
Do that.
10%,
We
you
can do
know.
that. We can do
At least
7%.
10%.
Then you got your boy DJ Exhale.
Yes, and Nunu D.
She did
Nah,
it.
Come on now. Come
She
on
did
now.
it. Hey,
Nunudelaunay in the building.
And
we
got
appreciate you
DJ
coming out.
Ty in the building.
Nah, okay, cool.
Nah, but shout out to On the Set Live. I really appreciate this interview.
Yeah, man.
Not for real. I appreciate you coming
DJ
through.
XL, DJ Tay. Shout out to y'all. Thank you.
I mean, I'm not DJ, but
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
He's
I mean,
an
it's all good.
upcoming
I get it.
artist.
I
The
get it.
takeover.
Upcoming artist, DJ Tay.
I get it.
I mean, I still said DJ.
You're DJ
Tay.
Tay now, man.
Tay.
That's it. Yo, 300's gone. You're,
I don't
you're
know, I
DJ
just
Tay,
tried
bro.
to
I
DJ.
had to
I see
fill
you as a
in.
DJ.
I had to fill in for him. You know,
There's
what I'm
already a special effect for you. We're gonna cue it in right
That's it.
here.
I need that.
I
That's
don't
it.
know. You remind me of a DJ though. I don't
Yeah,
know.
for real.
saying? Sorry, I
Oh,
could
no.
dig it. You know what I'm saying? I threw a couple parties in my day. You know
Oh,
what I'm
yeah?
saying? But I was DJing off YouTube, so shout out to
the iPod
DJ
Classic.
Decade. Yeah, the iPod Classic.
Shout out to Decades.
Shout out to
Hey,
DJ
put out those
Decade.
mixes to
That's what I was
iTunes.
doing. Yeah,
Oh,
man.
shit.
So we're about to sign off right now. We appreciate y'all tuning in. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget that we drop episodes every Monday, every Thursday at around 8 a.m.
At around, damn boy, I'm on time. 8 a.m. Eastern
8 a.m.
time on the
sharp.
dot.
Eastern
Sharp.
time. We got you. Until the next time, peace.
Let's go.